Okay, now, new leadership change in North Korea. In December 2011, Kim Jong-il passed away. And surprisingly, his third son succeeded Kim Jong-il's leadership. Because Kim Jong-il had 3 sons. The first son, Kim Jong-nam. Second son, Kim Jong-chol. Third one, the youngest, Kim Jong-un. These 3 boys spent their younger days for education in Europe, so they could speak English and some other European language. But do you remember the Kim Jong-il's eldest son, Kim Jong-nam, was killed in the Malaysian airport in 2017 by 2 ladies of Southeast Asia with poisoning. And Kim Jong-chol is the second son of Kim Jong-il, and now he is known to stay in North Korea now. He's North Korea now. I'm sorry, this is the 1984. Kim Jong-chol is 3 years older than Kim Jong-un, and he was the youngest son. And he spent his younger days in Switzerland. So he must speak English and probably German language. And also it was known that Kim Jong-nam had a son named Kim Han-sol. And he's alive, but definitely he's not in North Korea. He is known that he lives in somewhere else outside North Korea. Outside North Korea. And why Kim Jong-il chose Kim Jong-un as his successor? When he was alive, Kim Jong-il had his personal chef, Japanese chef, Kenji Fujimoto. And he confided once in his personal chef, Fujimoto, that the eldest Kim Jong-nam was too irresponsible. And elder son, the second son, Kim Jong-chol, was too feminine. Let me show you a picture of Kim Jong-chol again. It's a mosaic picture, but there could be many reasons for that. Please understand. He is too feminine. He studied in London, and he is a great fan of the English pop singer Eric Clapton. Whenever Clapton had a performance or concert, Kim Jong-chol showed up with his bodyguards. He looks feminine, and he acts like feminine. And Kim Jong-un was Kim Jong-il's favorite. That's why Kim Jong-un, the youngest son, succeeded the late father Kim Jong-il. But surprisingly, Kim Jong-un showed even harsher leadership than his father. Because a lot of people expected more soft leadership from Kim Jong-un because he spent his younger days in Europe and received the European education and enjoyed the European democracy. But Kim Jong-un leadership was very harsh. First, there was no noticeable distinction in foreign policy of his father. Contact the US and contained the South Korea. Any difference in his leadership? No. Even harsher in rhetorics, and he showed the bellicose behavior and unpredictability and recalcitrance. Very stubborn and cruel. And he kept pursuing the nuclear and long-range missile programs. Also, he succeeded his father's Sungun policy. Sungun means military first. Also, he exercising the politics of terror. Among other things, he killed his grandfather, the uncle, Chang Sung-taek, his uncle, the execution of Chang Sung-taek. Chang Sung-taek was to be pro-China. And he arrested and killed him in public place. Also, he assassinated the defectors. And when he killed people, all the assassinations were held in public places, in front of people. Obviously, that was the politics of terror. So people are terrified and horrified. And again, he opened the prison camps again and put all the defectors and criminals to prison camps. Lastly, he's tightening the border control with China because some people, almost thousands of people, fled to China through the North Korean-Chinese border. So he tightened the border control. So the North Korean refugees, the numbers of North Korean refugees sharply decreased. And the UN did not do anything against the North Korean nuclear acrobat. In March 2013, the UN put sanctions in 2094. So that's the financial sanctions by the United Nations against North Korea. And with the US sanction 2094, the US strengthened state authority or other state authority to inspect cargo. So any countries could inspect the cargo and deny port and overflight access to North Korea. So any countries who are suspecting, you find the suspicious North Korean ships, could stop them, or they could deny the port of North Korean ships and inspect them. In return, North Korea, in response to the UN sanctions and joint US-South Korean joint military exercises, renounced 1953 Armistice Agreement. When the truce was signed in 1953, at the end of the Korean War, the Armistice Agreement was signed, but North Korea renounced it. And also, North Korea threatened nuclear strikes on the United Nations and also South Korea. And North Korea used these words, make the fire a sea of fire in South Korea, or US allies, possibly Tokyo. So North Korea kept threatening the bombing, nuclear strikes, nuclear weapons on Seoul as well as Tokyo. In January 2016, North Korea successfully finished its fourth nuclear test. And these are the list of the North Korean nuclear tests. Totally 6 North Korean nuclear tests, successful tests. And as of the spring 2016, all of South and North Korean economic cooperation stopped, including 4 joint projects. Let me introduce these 4 joint economic projects. First, Kaesong Industrial Complex and Kaesong City Tour. Okay, if there's a Seoul is here, Kaesong is locating here, about 28 kilometers north of Seoul. And in the city of Kaesong, South Korean small size and medium size business corporations opened their factories in Kaesong, hiring about 50,000 North Korean workers. And salaries of North Korean workers in Kaesong Industrial Complex was at the time $60 a month. $60. So South Korean companies paid with the US dollars to the workers, but North Korean government took that money and North Korean government gave North Korean currency to the workers instead. And Kaesong Industrial Complex and Kaesong City Tour was stopped. I visited the city of Kaesong and Kaesong Industrial Complex once. Also, there was a Pyongyang City Tour. Pyongyang is here. And Mountain Kumgang Tour. This is Kumgang Mountain here. I've been to a Kumgang Mountain, but not city of Pyongyang. Because in order to visit city of Pyongyang, I had to pay $200 in cash. I'm not saying it was too expensive for me, but I did not visit the city of Pyongyang. Anyway, so for Pyongyang, nuclear capability is the final resort for the regime survival. If they dismantle the nuclear weapons, North Korea might be observed to the superior South Korea. So it will never give up nuclear capabilities. Therefore, the bilateral discussions of unification have been buried for a long, long time. So they don't talk about unification any longer. This is a picture of Kaesong Industrial Complex. All these buildings were built by South Korean government, and the energy supply, water supply, and electricity supply were made by the South Korean government. So South Korean workers who are working in this complex go to work in the morning and got out of work at night, came back to Seoul. But now, whole city stopped its functions. No people live in this complex any longer. No water, no electricity, no nothing.